right, let's go ahead and get started. Today we are doing Chapter 2, Lesson 2, and it is on percents and fractions. Our learning goal is that students will be able to turn percents to fractions and fractions to percents. Our Florida State Standard is Ratios and Proportions 1.3c, again. Okay, take your time, pause this video at any time if you need to. Make sure to write everything that is typed or written down on your paper to get credit for your homework. Okay, so remember, percent means out of 100. That's what the word percent means. It means per cent, per 100. All right, so out of 100, that also means over 100. And we write over 100 like this. Okay, it's a fraction where the percent is on top of 100. Okay, when changing a percent to a fraction, just write it over 100. That's all this means. Okay, you don't necessarily have to write this down here if you understand that concept. Okay, percent means out of 100, which means we need to write the percent over 100. Okay, for example, we have 86%, so we need to write 86 over 100. That's it. We're done. Now, your teachers may want you to reduce this number of this fraction, and you can reduce this fraction. The last two numbers of both of these numbers are even, which means you can definitely divide both of these by 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. And 86 divided by 2, you can do off to the side. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract and you get 0. Bring down your 6. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract and you get 0. So 43 out of 50 is what this reduces to. So 86% is either 86 over 100 or 43 over 50. Both of those answers would be correct. Okay, 38%. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, so 38%, again, we write our percents over 100. And we can reduce this because both of these numbers end in 8 and 0. That means they're both even numbers, so we can divide both of them by 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50, and 38 divided by 2, if you need to divide out to the side, 2 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract and we get 1. Bring down our 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I was saying just now. I'm clearly losing my mind here. Let's try that one again. It's not 8. We're dividing into 18. How about that? Okay, so 2 goes into 18 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18. Subtract and we get 0. That's much better. Okay, so our answer is either, Okay, so our answer is either 19/50ths or 38 over 100. Both of those answers would be correct. Okay, now our next concept is something that is new to you 6th graders. Okay, and it may seem very weird at first. But the minute you can get this down, it's going to make this year and next year especially so much easier for you. So, it's new. It may seem difficult and challenging at first, but you can do it. I have faith, okay? So, when changing a fraction to a percent, you solve for x, and that is your percent, okay? So, here's what you will do. You will put your fraction on the left. On the right of the equal sign, you're going to put an x over 100. And I'm going to show you how to solve this equations. We have not gotten to equations yet, so again, this is new for you. But the minute you get this information down, the whole year, and definitely next year will become a lot easier. So we're starting hard stuff now to practice and practice and practice, and so we'll be perfectionists by next year, okay? Make sure to write all of this down before moving on with us. Okay, so here's how we are going to practice it. Actually, before we get started, I'm going to make some more areas for us. There we go. Okay. Better. Okie dokie, artichoke. Now, put your fraction on the left side of the equal sign. That's your part over your whole. And on the right side of your equal sign, you're going to put x over 100. The way we are going to solve for our percent is called finding equivalent proportions. These are proportional, which means these are equal fractions, okay? This fraction is equal to this fraction, but we have to find the number that goes on top to make it an equal fraction. To do that, we are going to cross multiply. So 3 times 100, so I'm going to show this over here, 3 times 100, and we need to set that equal to the opposite side when we cross multiply this side. 5 times x. So 5 times x. 3 times 100 gives me 300. And 5 times x gives me 5x. Now, when you have a letter next to a number, that means they are being multiplied together. And to solve, this is a multiplication equation, to solve for x, you need to divide both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 1 times x is x. 300 divided by 5, if you need to do that off to the side, you can. 5 goes into 3 0 times. 5 goes into 36. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down our 0. 5 goes into 0. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract, and we get 0. So, our x is equal to 60. Therefore, 3/5 is equal to 60 over 100, and 60 over 100 as a percent should be written as 60%. Now, was that a lot? Yes, it was. Is that hard for you starting off where you're starting at without ever having doing this before? Yes, this is very hard. But the more we practice this, the easier it's going to get for you, and by next year, you're going to be like, I know how to do that. This is no problem. You will continue to do this again in pre-algebra and algebra following. So, I am starting off with something that is very challenging for you now, but by the time you get to 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, this is going to be a breeze for you. So, stay with me. Don't get frustrated and give up. You guys have got this. No worries. Okay? Now, I need to make another box. Should have done this before I started the video, but I didn't. Okay. Here we go. Now we're going to do the same exact thing we did before. Here's our fraction. We're going to make another fraction where we have 100 on the bottom, and our x is going to go on top. To solve for our percent, okay, we are going to cross multiply, so 9 times 100. And we are going to cross multiply on the other side, 12 times x. 9 times 100 is 900. And 12 times x is 12x. When a letter is next to a number, like here, that means we are multiplying them. But to solve a multiplication equation, you have to do the opposite of what's happening. So instead of multiplying by 12, you have to solve this by dividing both sides by 12. Okay, 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 1 times x is x. And 900 divided by 12 will give us our answer. So 900 divided by 12. 12 cannot go into 9. 12 goes into 90 7 times. Sorry. 7 times 12 is 84. Subtract, we need to borrow. 8 minus 4 gives us 6, and 8 minus 8 is 0. Did I say 8? I meant 10 minus 4 gives us 6, and 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down our 0, and 12 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract, and we get 0. So 75 is our answer. So 9 over 12, that's our fraction. That's equal to 75 over 100. And 75 over 100 is a percent and can be written as 75%. Okay, again, that's a lot. I know you guys are fantastic. We are going to get this. No worries. Keep up the hard work, and I will see you guys tomorrow.